By continuously investing while you're still young, you'll give compounding time to work in your favor. As you continue to accumulate interest, receive dividends, and see share values rise over time, your initial investment will increase significantly. That is why in this video, we will unfold why you should invest like this in your 20s to be rich in your 30s. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You can change your mind at any time, and it's totally free. You will then be the first to learn about any new wealth building strategies as we share them. With that said, let's get back to the content, shall we? Investing aggressively is step 1, which is where you should start. I'm aware that the common belief suggests investing 10% of one's salary, but such a recommendation is only applicable to those who don't desire to accumulate more money quickly. Let's look at two distinct situations. Person A, who earns $100,000 a year and allocates just 10% of their income to stock market investments, is depicted in the first scenario. The second example shows an individual who earns $100,000 annually but chooses to actively invest 30% of it in the stock market. There is a huge difference between the two after 30 years, even with a small 7% return. You must start investing at least 30% of your money aggressively if you want to successfully pass level 1. Consistent investing is a huge element of building wealth, and if you can't achieve 30%, perhaps start at 15% or 20% and work your way up. You cannot simply put $1,000 into a stock, never touch it again, and then expect to be rich. Normally, things don't operate that way. Instead, you must continuously and over a long period of time put your money into the proper investments. The next step is to start a Roth IRA. Level 2. Even while owning a Roth IRA won't make you instantly wealthy, it is the vehicle you should utilize to invest in the stock market. Therefore, regardless of what you do daily to actively increase your wealth, as long as you continuously max out your Roth IRA each year, investing around $500 per month or $6,000 per year, your wealth will always be gently increasing in the background. Even if everything else fails, as long as you keep contributing to your Roth IRA, you probably will become rich in the future. We now arrive at step 3, which is to launch your own company while still in your 20s. Never before in history has there been a better time to launch a business than now. Today, you can launch a business using just your phone if you have internet connectivity. The fastest way to increase your wealth is not by investment. Can you become wealthy by investing? For sure, I say. But before you become wealthy, you'll need to invest an average of $500 each month into a Roth IRA and wait for compound interest to work its wonders. So should you continue investing? In order to continue steadily accumulating wealth in the background, you should unquestionably continue investing. However, you need to launch a business if you want to increase your wealth more quickly. The majority of the time, starting a business will generate you far more money than your investments ever could, unless you got incredibly lucky and bought in Amazon back in 1997. It's the reason why Warren Buffett, who began investing at the age of 10, needed 20 years to reach his first $1 million milestone. Elon Musk, in comparison, only needed 2 years from the start of his first company to become a multimillionaire. The core principle here is to be very aggressive with your time and money investments into launching a business when you're in your 20s. Then, invest all of the money you earn from your firm in even more profitable assets such as stocks, real estate, etc. Thus, as you actively make money with your business in the foreground, your wealth continues to increase in the background. Next, in step 4, create several streams of income. You must continue to diversify your sources of income, even when your business or investment is producing excellent returns. The IRS estimates that the typical millionaire has 7 sources of income. It's perfectly good for the majority of you to only have 1 or possibly 2 sources of income right now, because this is a process. You won't suddenly have 7 different sources of income. You'll need to strive toward that. The simplest method to generate all of these distinct revenue streams, though, is to create your own business, because the profits you make from it should be invested in more income-generating assets, such as stocks and real estate. Then, even when you're not working, those new income-generating assets will continue to generate income for you. The majority of individuals are forced to work their 9-to-5 jobs because they must. Because their livelihood depends on their wage, they are unable to simply stand up and quit. Yet, to be honest, beginning a business might be similar. If your business is your sole source of income, that is a risky position to be in. Because what will happen if that business is your only source of revenue and it suddenly ceases to exist. So while your company is making money, use it to continue to diversify your sources of revenue. Before we continue, we would really appreciate it if you care to share your own experiences in business and investing in the comment section. Done? Shall we get going? Let's proceed with step 5, where you will learn how to distinguish between good and bad debt and how to stay away from the latter. Payday loans, personal loans, and credit cards with high interest rates are examples of bad debt. However, it might be argued that high-interest credit card debt is the worst of these. If you use credit cards sensibly, they can be quite helpful. But if you start accumulating debt that cannot be paid off right away, they could rapidly become a problem. Therefore, the simplest method to prevent this in the first place is to avoid making purchases that you are aware you cannot afford. Good debt, however, includes items like your mortgage, investment in real estate, company loans, and student loans, which are again, in my opinion, pretty debatable because the majority of student loans are regarded as bad debt. Now, good debt raises your net worth over time, as opposed to bad debt, which diminishes it. And as a result, whether you borrow money to start a new business or buy a rental property, such endeavors will eventually become lucrative and improve your overall net worth. The 6th step is to contemplate whether or not to attend college. Being in college has more negative effects than positive ones for the great majority of people. You're drowned in debt, and 90% of its graduates have no use for their degrees. Even worse than the money, though, is the fact that it wastes the most priceless resource we all possess: our time. You can pay off your student loan debt, but you can't get back the 4 years you spent on a potentially pointless degree. On to step number 7, which is to prevent lifestyle inflation. Do not raise your expenditures the instant you start earning more money. The term lifestyle inflation refers to this. Whenever your expenditure keeps pace with your income, don't overindulge in the moment's fleeting pleasure at the expense of your future wealth. You'll be grateful to yourself in the future for making the effort to improve your present. And ultimately, the toughest and most terrifying stage for most people is step 8, which is to take risks. Since you're still fairly young, in your 20s or even 30s, and have time on your side, you can afford to take risks. Therefore, take risks and don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is not a math exam where failing the test will get you in trouble. Failure is a good thing in life, but it's especially a good thing in business, since it means you tried. You cannot acquire wealth while you are still young while still playing it safe. It just doesn't work. If you don't take risks because you're afraid of making mistakes, then you will merely go through life waiting to see what happens. Am I encouraging you to live a reckless life? Obviously not. But in order to start adding more value to people's lives and boost your income, you need to establish that business, acquire that real estate, purchase those stocks, keep investing, and pick up new skills. Laying your foundation today while you are still young is critical for your success later in life. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this has been an enlightening experience for you. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you'll be one of the first to see our latest uploads. See you in the next one.